seat of the 93 LX 400. And you can see that it was not cared for properly throughout its life. There's the leather has just turned to dust and it's crumbled in here as well. So I'm going to use some all-purpose 100% silicone clear. I cleaned up the area with 91% isopropyl, and I've got just a little piece of plastic to act as a squeegee. And I'm going to attempt to fill in cracks and give myself a base of silicone that a cover or a partial cover is going to go over. So that's what I'm doing with this. It's either that or spend $500 to have the back seat reupholstered, and I just don't want to do that first. You can see where that's been done on the bottom cushion, and once that's dry, and it should be able to put spray adhesive and different things on it. So that's the plan for the moment with the seats. All right, I'll turn it back on later, I guess, maybe during the process. All right, so you can begin to see that I'm putting this silicone on like it's just a skin. It's not an adhesive in the traditional sense. It's not gluing the stuff back together, though it is. But what I've been doing is just putting it in a spot and kind of working it in to that spot, just as if it were a body filler, and trying to fill the spot and then draw it out a little bit. Now, it's hard to do in film, as you can imagine, but I'm just trying to stop the cracks from cracking more and give the remaining leather something to adhere to, so that it'll stop the crack from spreading. Now, when this is dry, I'll come back and I'll use a spray adhesive and do some sort of cover up through here, and maybe down both centers. But that's really all I've done, is try to reinforce where the edges of the cracks are so they don't crack more. There. So I can push it down into that seam and then lift it up and away. Push it down into that seam, push it up and away. Obviously, this is not like at a point where I would charge somebody to do this. This is just me trying to make the best of the situation that I found myself in, and it probably will just be a temporary thing, and at some point I'll do something different. But I'm trying my best to use what I have before I start spending money that I don't have, because I don't need this car to get me around. This is car 4. We have the BMW, and then there's Grand Cherokee and a big old van and a bike, so it's not as if. But if this were the only vehicle I had and I was trying to make it as presentable as possible, I wouldn't do anything different. This is exactly what I would do. So I'm gonna finish up that tube. That's just one tube, and see how far that'll get me. And we'll look at it again when it's dry. All right, so you can see where a little bit of a new vinyl has been put onto the cracked leather, and then this is about to go onto the side, and you'll see what that looks like here in the next little shot. But this went on pretty well with that contact adhesive, follow the instructions on it, and it stuck pretty well. It does not stick to silicone. It absolutely will not stick to that silicone. Nothing is going to stick to that silicone, I have a feeling, except other silicone, but it's in places where it can be tucked in to hold, so it's not an issue as far as that goes. So anyway, I'm letting this dry. I'm going to see if it'll tack up and hold on, so we'll see on this.